All right. Now it's time for Locosoccer. You know, a lot of people don't know this because I am a huge nerd, that I'm also a bit of a sports fan. There was a time in my life when I followed as many sports as I possibly could. Since I've grown up and gotten an adult type job, I can only follow two sports, and I chose my two favorite, which are, of course, hockey and basketball. But yeah, you know, I do have a love for all sorts, including the beautiful game of soccer. Now, as you can no doubt see by now in the footage, this silly nonsense is not quite soccer. It's really not. It is soccer-esque, soccer-ish, you know, in a similar way that, like, you know, a lot of people hated Nintendo World Cup or NES World Cup, the soccer game on the NES with the you know, River City Ransom guys. I love that game. I absolutely love that game because it's quirky and weird, and yes, it's not exactly soccer. Like, it's not exactly what you're looking for when you're looking for soccer, but it is super fun. And so Locosoccer fits into that type of game, you know, because it's, just look at it. You're flipping, you're flopping all over the place, and it's absurd. You know, the ball going everywhere, and players doing backflips and headstands and whatnot. Like, it's objectively silly. And when I first started playing this, I was like, oh my god, there's no way that this is going to be any good. Like, the moment I saw it, I was like, this looks terrible. This looks like, you know, nobody put any effort into this whatsoever. And then I get into the game and I'm like, oh, this is actually really fun. Like, it's not only really fun, but it became very important to me that you see footage of me actually winning a match. So I normally, when I cut the footage for an episode, or for a review, I will grab it from the start of my recording session and then just let it run for however long it runs. This one I'm going to grab from the back, you know, to ensure that the last thing that is seen is the screen of me putting in that last goal and winning, absolutely winning the game. So yeah, it's silly, it's ridiculous, it is not at all what soccer is, but it's super fun and super funny. Because, like, first of all, it takes itself seriously enough to have a lot of features. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was surprised. Like, you will occasionally find these El Cheapo games that I buy on extreme discount for the Budgetstravaganza. Like, you will occasionally find couch co-op, you know, like one computer, two controllers, you know, that kind of a thing. You will occasionally find that. More frequently, you'll find like two-player keyboard or one-player controller, one-player keyboard. But what you're not going to find is online play, LAN play, or invite through Steam play. Like, what? You went and made the thing fully featured? Like, because then you get into the game setup screen, and they've got all these different balls that you can play with, and all these different teams that are actual teams that you can play. national teams from different countries, and I don't know why I selected a match between Uruguay and the Netherlands, but like I've got relatives from Uruguay, so like gotta back La Celeste. Anyway, but like the thing is, why against the Netherlands? I don't know. That's just the first team that I chose in one of my early matches that I dumped the video of because I lost that game. And so I played multiple games of this, and the one that I played, because I always play the game a little bit to get a feel for it before I start recording, and the one that I didn't record, I won. And then the next several that I recorded, I did not win. I lost some of them very badly. One of them, I forgot to make it first to 10 goals rather than a timed match. It was a 15-minute match, and I lost 35-12. It was bad. But I played the whole 15 minutes. That's the thing, is that I played multiple matches of this game, and it became important to me that I could win it, because I knew that I could, because I had won it. So, like, I just kept playing until I did on video. And so you will see that footage in this review, because I was like, no, I can beat the CPU, So, yeah. First thing to know is that it's not just dumb luck, like there is some skill involved in this game, even though it's flippy floppy and the physics are ridiculous and the controls are a little wonky by design, because your controls are forward and back and jump, and there's a loco mode, which is where you're just flipping whenever you're moving, which is a good idea to have all of your players in except for your goalkeeper. But yeah, anyway, and then you can toggle different player pass modes. I try to always have it on whoever is closest to the ball, because sometimes trying to figure out which player you're switching to in the moment is kind of a pain in the butt. Anyway, so yeah, I just switch it to auto switch mode, and it will switch it to whoever is closest to the ball. And then it is your job to move the ball and to try to not knock it into your own goal, which I did, but the other team did several times. And one of the hilarious things is that if the ball ever gets like really good and truly trapped between you and the opponent, like, they will not let up. He's not going to like jump out of the way and try and get the ball a different way. He is not going to relent. So if you do, he's just going to score on you. So the only move at this point, and I did it for I think only 2 of the goals in this game, but you just push the opposing players into the goal. Like, you just put them in there. You just make sure that they go in with the ball. So yeah, it's really dumb and really silly, but that is a feature of the game. So when it says Locosoccer, like, it is really silly, but you know what, like, this game was an awful lot of fun. This is why I do this, by the way. Like, if you've ever wondered, like, why is he always buying these like under $1 Steam games, and it's because some of them are legitimately fun. Like, last year I found one called Prison Chainball Massacre. That game is super fun. It's really, really fun, and I always recommend it, because for the price that you pay, you get an awful lot of fun. Even if you only played it once, it would be absolutely worth it. So yeah, Like, these type of games are my bread and butter. Like, this is what I live for, is finding little hidden gems like this. And so, yeah, the game currently only has 3 user reviews. And you know, the funny thing, and I'm going to add one tonight, a positive one, obviously, but like, yeah, the funny thing is when I went to grab this, I saw that there's a Locosoccer Classic, which would have been the original game that was created, and this is the version with better graphics and whatnot. So, yeah, because this was released in 2022. Let me look up the other Locosoccer Classic. Because Locosoccer is normally $2.99. Locosoccer Classic, which has 8-bit graphics, is 99 cents, and it looks like, oh yeah, that's very similar. So the funny thing about it is that you get to choose which players you're actually going to play, you know, and then it becomes kind of like a 2D fooseball, you know, essentially is what it turns into. And the thing is that, like, you get to choose, like, how many forwards, how many midfielders, how many how many defenders, and like, it is best to only have one of each. I'm just telling you from experience, just have one of each. Anyway, let me put a final score on this Mamma Jamma, and then we will conclude. Okay, so final score wise, we are going a 9 out of a possible 10 Google Stadia controllers. And by the way, it would be 10 out of 10. It's just, there's a part of me that's like, should I enjoy this as much as I do? And the answer is yeah, probably, I guess. That seems reasonable. It is fun. It is a fun game. I kept playing and I kept playing, and like, at first I just kept playing because I was like, I'm gonna get better at this, and then eventually I was like, I will dominate the enemy. I am not going to lose this game. And so you should be watching footage now of me putting in that winning goal, and yeah, just putting a bow on the thing, and then it's done, and then it goes to the end screen, and then we're done and we're out. And hey, thank you for being here in this one. I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.